Hello y'all on YouTube, this is Rob with Rob's Nerdy Knives. Today we have a very special review impressions of a knife I've had in my collection for a little bit. This is a knife that I got from Mr. Eddy. It's a custom made knife, one he made himself, and really cool knife. I'd like to talk about this. So yeah, let's take a look. All right, so today we're looking at the Milt 2, version 2. That's what he calls it, the Milt 2. And I came up with the name when we were talking about it. I call it the sumptuously creamy-dreamy, silky, subtly, supple. Why can't I not talk? Oh my gosh. Subtly stealthy. So it's supposed to be subtly stealthy. So this is the sumptuously creamy-dreamy, silky, subtly stealthy knife, or the Milt 2. It's Mr. Eddy design. You can see this beautiful hand right here. It's like a resin, kind of a flowing, looks like marble, epoxy or whatever kind of handle. It's got some pins in there. Full tang of the blade goes all the way through. I believe this is 8 CRMOV or something like that. I love the kind of jagged, ragged kind of texture you get on here. It gives you a little texture on top of the blade. It is a right at 4-finger full grip for me, so just keep that in mind. But Mr. Eddy is the designer and the maker of this knife. It's custom made, handmade by him. I do like a lot of things about this knife. I think it's really, really cool. It's got a nice, this almost looks to me, it's got an edge. There is an edge on there, but it almost looks like a Scandi grind, but it's not. It's a very thick, robust edge, so it's definitely going to be a good workhorse, kind of strong use knife. You can see some of that resin kind of coming through over there. I think there's a lot of really cool things about this. Brass pins, obviously, so really nice, solid in there. Yeah, very, very cool. Now, it is going to be kind of a classic harder steel that's been used for a long time, but you do have to keep it oiled to make sure you keep rust, and so it doesn't corrode and stuff like that, because, you know, it's not a absolutely super rust resistant steel. So the materials, Kydex holster right here. I did put an ulti clip on there. I think that's kind of makes sense. You can put that in your pocket. Works really, really well to clip in there. So once you have an ulti clip on there, and then this fits in there really nicely, locks in place, pretty solid. It's got a little lip there, so you can definitely do a push off if you needed to. So this allows you to be in the front pocket, the back pocket, or a little on your belt or something like that. So definitely nice in that regard. Does retain in there really well. Does hold pretty strongly. I don't hear the full click, but it does go over the edge. You can see there's a little edge right there, and that's typical of a Kydex sheath. So very nice, very nice. All right, so let's look at this. Got a nice thick blade stock. I love the roundedness of the handle. It is comfortable. It does have a finger guard, and it does have shape, so you can hold it. It doesn't feel like it's going to slip and slide out of your hand, where your fingers are going to go right over the blades and cut your hand. So you feel like you can lock in there. This texture on here, even though it's more of an aesthetic, does give you a little bit of grip on there. I can feel it. It's not super, super grippy, but it's enough to give texture, right? I love the texture on here. This is almost like people will try to create that hand jigged kind of look. It does have a little sharpening choil. This little part sticks out. I think that's meant for you to use for sharpening, maybe to capture it so you don't hit the rest of the handle and stuff. But it does come to a nice thick tip. Does thin out, so it's good for poking in dog food, cat food, fertilizer, mulch, cat cases of water, whatever you need to get into cat food, cat litter, dog food, whatever, stuff like that, right? So it's definitely usable in that regard. It's smaller. It's not a gigantic knife, so it's not going to be scary and offensive or, you know, scare people off, right? So I think that's really, really cool. Open and closes. I mean, goes into the sheath, out of the sheath. That's it. All right. There's no lock type. It's just Kydex locked in kind of thing. The blade, as you can see, it's a drop point. It does have a little drop here. Yeah, I think the idea is that might be a clip point, sort of, but it looks more drop point to me, because it looks like there's a sharp angle here. So I guess someone can argue maybe that's a clip point. To me, it looks like a drop point. All right, so let's get into the measurements and the weights of this knife. All right, so let's do that. I do need to get my scale over here that's underneath something. All right, so let's measure this with the whole thing together. It's 6.9 ounces. It's not a super light knife. But before we do that, let's measure it without the scale. So 5.2 ounces. So I guess this is 1.7 ounces for the sheath. Yeah, 1.7 ounces. So there we go. So, you know, it's not super light, but it's a robust, hard-working type of blade. So you definitely get some use out of that for sure, right? All right, so let's look at let's measure it with the whole Kydex sheath on there. So with the Kydex sheath on there, it's 7.5 inches, just barely under, right? I do like to measure the width of the Kydex sheet, especially if you do vertical carries. So we're looking at just over 2 1/8 of an inch, right, at maximum. So 2 1/8. Keep that in mind if you have a 2-inch belt, or 2.5 or 3-inch duty belt. All right, so that's something to keep in mind. Let's look at this right here. We are dealing with just under 7 inches, about 6 7/8 inches. So it's a smaller handle. Look at the handle. You can, I love this shape here where it doesn't go really high and tight. So you do get about 3, I want to say 3 3 3/8 of an inch. It's just under 3.5 of an inch, right? So that's right at my maximum reach. Now I can pull up nice and tight on here to get a full grip. I can go low if I have to, right? That's the nice thing about a subtle ramp. And the reason why I mention that is because there are other knives who don't do that, and some that do. So we're looking at 3 and just over 3 1/4, maybe 3 3/8 of an inch from the tip to the back of the scale. Overall cutting length is 3 1/4 inch, right? So that is that. Let's look at what is the blade stock thickness. Now I'm going to have to hold this here, so let's. All right, so blade stock thickness on this guy is going to be 154 thousandths of an inch. It does go out to 145, and then we get to, yeah. So it does thin out a little bit there all the way down. So you do have that to keep in mind. So, but it's nice and strong. Definitely going to be, this is a hard use, heavier use, high impact, tough steel. I believe, if I remember correctly, he said it was 8 MOV CR, whatever. Let's just say, Mr. Eddy, hopefully you're down here. Look in the comments. Maybe he's already posted what the steel was, because I can't remember as of right now. And if I do get it and I remember, I'll have it right here. Right? And then if I don't, then it'll be in the description or in the comments, right? So there you go. All right, so that is the steel, the weights that we got into. So, what is this knife? It's definitely not under $100. This knife was about, when I got this one, it was $250, I believe, was what he charged me for it. So I don't know if he's still running the same price for these, but this one did have a little nicer material. Had this beautiful, nice big tang and beautiful scales. A lot of times cost like this to do a larger grip like this and round it in a beautiful shape and to polish it and sand it to get it to this point. That does take extra time, and that does add cost to have a little extra texture and a little thing like this. Whereas you can just polish it straight up and get rid of everything. But if you're going to put character into a knife, that does involve more work, right? It does involve you being intentional not to take away certain things and to leave an aesthetic there. Because if you notice, the aesthetic goes into where the blade comes up into not the chamfer, yeah, oh my gosh, why is my brain just kind of going dead right there? When you have a blade, you have, let's see here, look at this. Is this the chamfer? Yeah, I think it's just a chamfer that's up there, right? Jimping, yeah, it's a chamfer. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. Sorry, guys, I had a little brain fart there. So the chamfering, there's a chamfer right there, which allows you to use this as a nice cut knife. This angle up here allows you to turn the blade, because it doesn't push this way to force you not to turn it, but so it allows you to turn a little smoother, right? So, but to do that and keep this texture all the way through, right at that apex, at that point, that's really nice, I think. So I think that's kind of cool. That takes a little extra bit of work and a little extra care, and that's what sometimes add cost to any knife that you make. You can do it quick and dirty and get it in and out, and it could be very basic, but if you add a little extra details, that does add cost to things. And to me, I think I see that. I see that in the beautiful texture. I really love the colors that he used for this one, and that's why I chose to call it the sumptuously creamy-dreamy, silky, subtly stealthy. I can't pronounce subtly, yeah, subtle stealthy, or subtly stealthy. That's what I have the word, subtly. Why can't I say the word? I don't know. I think it's because it's pronounced like with a D, but it's spelled with a B. I guess that's the thing. I'm looking at it. I'm trying to use phonetics, but not think of what the word sounds like. Anyways, sorry. But I do like that. I do like that. I think that's really cool. And so that, this puts to me, I think, probably, I can see $250, right? And prices go up and it takes more labor. Everything's involved. You go back about 4 years ago, this is probably about $150, $200 a blade, I would say. Maybe 150 bucks, right? But today, it's definitely gone up. Now, the market's kind of gotten weird, and so he may have had to be more competitive, and he may have dropped the prices again. I don't know. But once the market gets in a good place, he'll definitely, hopefully, recover on his prices. But I will say that what I paid for it, I think is reasonable. You know, I didn't try to influence him to get a friend of the channel kind of discount, which sometimes you get, and you get it, and I admit it. It's nice because that allows me to look at more things at more times, right? And so I do appreciate that when people do that. But I didn't want to impose that upon Mr. Eddy, because Mr. Eddy, he's loaned a lot of really cool knives to my channel and a lot of other channels. He's very gracious with his collection, and I do appreciate that. But he's also really gracious in his design. I mean, I don't know. I feel like this was a little extra special. It's just me. Maybe I'm just personal about it, but I love the details on here. I just feel like the contour, the shape, everything is very symmetrical. And I'm very picky when it comes to that. And I feel like he really took extra care to do that. And so I appreciate that. Maybe it doesn't matter to other people, but it matters to me, and I noticed it, right? I noticed those details. There's a lot of things that could have easily been skipped in a hand-created knife. And this is custom. This is fully handmade. This is not machine. It's not production. This is a custom knife, right? And there's a lot of things that you don't always get in a custom knife. Now, this is a guy who owns a lot of really nice knives, and a lot of custom knives, so he knows what is a good quality knife. So he's going to make a good quality fixed blade. And I think this is more of a passion for him. He loves this. I got a little dirt on there because I use my knife. Anyways, but very, very cool little fixie. I do like this a lot. All right, so that's the price category. What's the purpose? Is it EDC hard use collection piece? I mean, I think this could be a collection piece. It's gorgeous. It is beautiful. I love the handles. I love the texture. I mean, some people could look at this and think, oh, that's like a bad piece of steel and he just left it there. Okay, so here's the reality. To get that perfection of that texture right there, and even to have it up here, you got to be really lucky with a piece of steel, and you better hope you cut it right. And you better know what you're doing, okay? Because I guarantee you that is not something that's super easy to do and be symmetrical on both sides. I love that it's not absolutely perfect, because if it was perfect, it would be machined, it would be imprinted, it would just be like, put it in a mold, boom, pop it out, and there'd be no human element in this. And the thing about a knife that comes from a custom mid-tech or just anybody where they have hands on, it has character. It has uniqueness to it. If you're an OCD person, you want absolute perfection and symmetry, don't buy customs. Don't buy mid-techs. Buy something that's just printed, something that's used through a machine, that's an exact duplicate. It's your best place where your OCD or whatever compulsive behavior is going to not go all wackadoodle. But if you like character in your knife, this is really cool. It is really cool. I like it. I do recommend you check him out. He does custom blades. If you like this look, I'm sure he has different versions. He can do a larger and a smaller. I'm pretty sure you can ask him for that. Like my hands right here, for my large hands, this is right at the limit. So if you got bigger hands, don't let this turn you off. Ask Mr. Eddy. Say, hey, can you make one for an extra large hand? So I need maybe an extra ½ inch or an inch on the handle. I'm sure he could do that. I have no doubt, being a custom knife maker. So, but talk to him. Talk to him about it. He does make knives and then sell those in batches, but I'm sure you can get him to work on something special for you. That's just that's the cool thing about when you deal with a custom knife maker. And as he does more and more stuff, now's the time to talk to him before he gets so big that you have to get on a waiting list and you have to, do a pre-order, and then knife is 2-3 times more expensive, right? So just keep that in mind. That's just something you want to think about. But for me, this is absolutely EDC. I can EDC this vertically on my belt clip, which I actually have this where I flip it like this, and I put it through this loop. Actually, no, I put it through this loop, and then I have it like this in my belt. Actually, it goes over here and it flips up, and then I'll carry it like this. I think I had it like this. One day I was carrying it, and I was doing it in the pocket, and that just worked, and so I had it like that, and that's another way to carry it. It's you can adjust this. You can move this back and forth, so that's the nice thing. Also, hard use. I think, yeah, it's absolutely hard use. I mean, I would use this everywhere. It's not at a price point. I'm not dealing with $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 fixed blade. I'm dealing with, $250 fixed blade that I can go and use and abuse, right? I mean, I'm not going to throw it and be careless, but I'm gonna use this thing. I'm gonna abuse it. Like, I was given another knife as a gift from Chef Rocky, and I use this one around the house a lot. You can't tell because I love the acid wash on here and this texture. I have rolled the edge a few times. I've had to fix that. I don't know if you can see that. I had to repolish the blade, but yeah, you can see I caught it over there a little bit. But anyways, you know, this is one of those nice edges where it doesn't show up as much. Now, when I start using this one, it's belt satin, and it's going to show up a little bit more. That's just a reality. The nice thing is this is, you see over here, this one is very intentionally jigged. So this was hand jigged. This is kind of within the, I don't know how he got this. I'm going to guess it's sort of a hand, kind of like a, I don't know what he did to do it, but it's cool. Anyways, this one's nice because I can poke into dog food, cat food, fertilizer, mulch, especially when I'm doing fertilizer, man. It's really nice to get into cases of water. And it has this nice grip where my hand's in there. It's not sliding in and out. So I appreciate Chef Rocky. This is my beat up knife around the house for sure. But then this one right here is really just, it's a nicer knife. I would be comfortable EDCing this, pulling this out and saying, hey, you want me to cut something? It does have a nice edge on there. You can see I've stropped it up. It's a nice polished edge on there. Can you all see that nice polish? Let's see, can we get in there? Can you see that? Yeah, it's a nice edge. I think so. So yeah, I do like that. So definitely hard use. Ergos and feel. All right, so it's a nice size, small. If you want a small knife, I like small fixed blades. Now you've got to fit in my hand. That's the big deal. I had another fixed blade, and matter of fact, I just got it in a pass around. It's this one right here. It's from Axial Knife. Really, really like a lot about this knife, but this, and then my hand falls off the edge. I can't choke up like I can, and this is what I was telling you about earlier. You see how it's sort of curved, so I can choke up like that comfortably. This is very, very tight, and so when I choke up, I don't have extra room to go up. And then it's sharp on the edges, so it's uncomfortable. So I have to stay back here, and that puts me at 3.5 fingers. That's unfortunate because I really like this blade shape. If this is an inch bigger, this would be so fantastic. This is the Alpine, by the way. Axial USA made blade. Fantastic production knife. Really nice titanium grips. Got a lot of cool features. If you like smaller blades, you don't have big meaty fingers, that's not a big deal, and you don't mind maybe 3-finger, 3.5 finger if you've got big hands, this is a cool option. Definitely consider that. But this is also a cool option because it's a custom, right? Now, there's different steels. That one's obviously going to be Magna Cut. This one's going to be 8 CRO 10 MOV or whatever. I can't remember what it is. It's going to come to me probably as soon as I finish the video. But, and if I remember again, it'll be right here. And if not, Chef Rocky, Mr. Eddy, please post it down in the comments. I'm hoping he'll see this because I'm going to tag him in the video. Obviously, I'm going to tag him. I'm going to tag him in his Instagram page where you can go talk to him over there and order stuff. So he doesn't include the clips. I put this clip on there myself. So, I mean, you could maybe ask him if he can buy a clip and put it on there. But, I mean, he's going to charge you because it doesn't come with the clip. It's kind of like his attitude was, you know, people are going to want maybe a Tech-Lock clip. Maybe that's maybe the thing you like that. Or maybe you want an Ulti-clip, right? Or maybe you even want, like on this one over here, this one has a huge Ulti clip. This is the 3.5 or 3.25 inch Ulti clip. This is the small Ulti clip. There's different versions. So, you know, you can't put the one clip for everybody, right? It's going to be a little different. Like this is the one that Tactile Knife Company put on my Dread Eye. It happens to work for me, but if you want a vertical carry, you might want a longer clip than this. So that's just something to keep in mind, right? But I do like this. I do like this a lot. So very cool. Very cool. All right, so overall design, I said it opens and closes, the contour shape is really great, works, I can choke up, I can get a full presentation, it's right at my limit, but it fits. It fits. It's almost like he knew what size handle I could go with, and any smaller, it would have been too small. Any bigger, you know, it would have probably got a little extra weight in the back, and it wouldn't have been as, and I think right now, let's see, where's our center? Yeah, our center is right there, so right where my hand is there, that's why it feels pretty balanced for almost a 6 ounce blade, right? So that's nice. Overall feel, going in and out, is nice and solid, goes in, locks in, you can move it in left like this, go in, nice and easy, that works really well. Kydex, I always like Kydex sheaths, I always recommend that if you're gonna carry this regularly. Leather, I always cut them, so I'm not a big fan of that, it's just something to keep in mind. But I like Kydex sheaths for sure. So overall feel is really good. So then I do a fidget factor, but that's really not fair with fixed blades because fixed blades really don't fall into that. But before I do that, let me compare. So these are the knives that I currently have in my collection. These are the 4 fixed blades that I actually have. Probably better if I do it this way so you can see them. So I will go in order in which I had them. So this is the order in which I received them. I bought this as my first fix. I have my dad's fixed blade. It's over 100 years old, almost 100 years old. It's a Safe Queen because it's my dad's, right? So bought it before World War II. But this is the first one I bought. And this got me into fixed blades. And I thought, I love carrying this. This is perfect size for EDC carry. Really, really like that. Then I was given this by Chef Rocky. Thank you, Chef Rocky. Really cool. This is a... why can I not remember all of a sudden? This is a... Why is my brain suddenly... I just said it earlier. I said it earlier. Starts with an S. Sorry, guys. It'll be up here or something. But then this was given to me. Very useful. Great knife. Carried around. Then McNeese came out with a fixed blade. I love the look of it. I mean, and I wanted a hard use because I'd actually kind of damaged my dread eye, and I reached out to them, and Tactile took care of me. So thank you, Tactile. This is a 3V. I had originally a MagnaCut version, but this one is in 3V as well. And so this is a McNeese one, and this is G10, black handles. He does have different scales. You can, I think they have carbon fiber and some other ones. You can put a lanyard in there. It's a great size for my hand. I've got plenty of room. It chokes up. You got a nice position, but it's a little high here, but you know what? I got plenty of room. I got plenty of room here. So to me, it locks my finger in there really well. Nice jimping for a hard push cut. It's got a nice, thick, robust blade. It is 3V steel, so it does retain edge well, but it's also tough steel. And I love the Kydex sheath on here. Nice and locked in. I've got a tech lock on there. That works really well. Goes in and out, clicks on, locks in nicely, right? That wasn't always on there. I had to go and get one of these for this. So there you go. I forget, he has a clip that comes with it. It's the one that's a loop. I can't use it on my duty belt, so it's not a really useful clip for me. I wish he would go with adjustable clips. This is my 2 cents on there, but because I carry this vertically on my belt as well. So I lock it in, I pop it up, I go in here, I put it over my duty belt, I'll lock it in, click, this is called a tech lock. And then it's there, and so then I can pull it left. And now I carry it left side so I can pull the knife because I carry my pew-pew on the right side, right? So I don't want to get in the way. So I can have this if I need to cut something. You know, it's always nice to have a fixed blade if you need to do some hard use stuff, especially if I'm carrying a nicer knife. I don't want to mess it up. So this is the fourth one here. And just to show you, this is the, if you want to talk about, you know, blade lengths and stuff, I'm very diverse in my sizes of what I carry. So this is very small EDC. This is nice around the house, a little bit bigger, right? And then this is my, probably if I go camping in like I did with Big Ben, this is the one I would carry. Absolutely. I might carry this along for driving and stuff, but when we're out there in the woods and stuff, this would be the one I'd be using. I would like to get one other one. I'd like to get the Mark from Quiet Carry. Just don't have the money for it. I did get to review it. They allowed me a loaner to have it. I just can't quite afford it yet. And the one they had originally had a leather sheath, so I wasn't really a super fan of that. So now that they have the Kydex sheath, I really would like to get one of those. But you know, I've been buying other stuff and got other content for the channel, and honestly, I wouldn't get content out of that, right? That would be just stuff that I would carry and be part of my EDC carry and just be part of my shorts and other things, but it wouldn't be new reviews and stuff like that. So I don't know how well that would do as far as if the money I spent on that as opposed to other things I would spend it on, right? So I got to think of that. I got to think about the channel. There's certain things for my collection, absolutely. I don't collect fixed blades. I don't have a lot of fixed blades, and this is probably more than I would ever thought I'd ever need. But I would like to get one more. I'd like to get that one just because it's cool, right? But folders I do love, and there's certain things I really, really want to collect. So they're more priority in my collection piece, but like I said, that Mark is pretty cool, and I would like to get it. But as you can see, these two are pretty comparable as far as sizes. A little bigger blade, little bigger handle on this one, which is nice. Over here, you've got this one handle's got a little bit more room, but it does have you lock in on both sides. So that's nice. And then this one obviously is the one with the biggest handle and also the biggest blade. Not by much, but cutting wise, definitely longer than all the other ones. So this would be the big boy right here for me. Right, so that's my big boy. And then this is the hard use one. I love this because it's thick all the way in the tip, and I can tell you how many times I've had to use that to get into stuff and to open things. It's really cool. And then this is my very clandestine, nice little, quiet little fixie here, and it's just so classy looking too. This is a Christensen Design Works, Christensen Knife Works, sorry, Design Works. Christensen Knife Works 3V blade steel. I love the design. This is Richlight micarta handles right here. So, and I love the texture on there. You actually have some grip, just really nice. So everything has a purpose here, and this one's nice. It's contoured. It's beautiful. It's flat enough. You know, I did review another fixie that was small. It was too round, and it was turning in my hand, and it didn't have any sort of finger guard. And I just didn't like the fact that if I ever cut into something and I slipped, I would have no way to stop that. I like this. It's got all those things, but shape and corners and contour, and it's comfortable. And I can turn it. And the fact that it's flat and you got that, you can turn that cut. And you've got a chamfer up here, so that a chamfer, a swedge. You have a swedge up here that allows you to turn into your cuts. That's nice. So this has a purpose to me. It really does, and I like it. And I like the look of it. And depending on the mood of the day, that's what I'm going to carry, right? Or whatever I'm doing. So very cool little fixie for Mr. Eddy. Definitely check him out. Like I said, I'll have his Instagram link down below. He also has a YouTube channel. I'll also have that linked as well. This is called the Milt 2. That's what he's calling it. Like I said, if it's a little short, it's a little small for you, and you think it's not big enough, you can reach out to him. I'm sure he can do something for you. Might cost you a little extra. Obviously, you use more materials, do something different, but it'd definitely be worth having a conversation to see if he's able to do it for you at the time, right? That would be my suggestion, because I wouldn't want you to pass up on it and think that's too small. This is a custom knife. He made this, and had I been there when he first started it, I could have said, hey, any chance that this could be a 7.5-inch blade or 7.25-inch blade, and I could have the handle be, let's say, you know, if I knew all that I knew now, right? Because I'm learning about fixed blades, but could I have a handle that's maybe 3 3/3, right? From here to here, could it be 3 3/4? Could you add maybe a 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch? That would be cool. I'm sure he could do that. I'm pretty sure he could do that. I haven't asked him, but I would imagine that would be something very possible. So just some questions you can ask him. It'd be enjoyable. But there you go. That's the Milt 2. I do like it. Oh, I didn't do my thing. So overall, fidget factor. Sorry. Fidget factor, it opens and closes. Fixed blades, you get a 1. All my fixed blades get a 1. Fidget factor is a 1. It opens and closes. Now, there are some exceptions. This opens and closes with a nice click, and it is solid, and it goes in, and it's really easy to get to, and it's a little cooler. I will tell you, this also moved up to a 2 because this clicks and locks in. It's much better one on this one. So I'm going to give those have a 1.5. They round up to a 2, but they still don't really get a full 2. This is a 1, a solid 1. It's a good one. You know, it doesn't have a click. That might be if it had a little nicer click on the locking and it like clicked in for me, I might give it a 1.5. But it's a 1, which is still solid, right? What's my fidgety goodness on this one? For what I'm going to use it for, fixed blade, this is the tool I say, get the right tool for the right job. This is what that tool is for, right? This is the right tool for the right job. I don't fidget with it, but for what I'm going to do, opening and closing, cutting, going back, putting it away, opening, cutting, being able to put it away safely, it's a solid A. It's an absolute solid A. I mean, I can't give it 100 because whatever, but it's a solid A. It does what it needs to do. Solid A. Overall thoughts. Is it recommended? Absolutely, it's recommended. 100% recommended. I like this knife. I wouldn't have bought it. Wouldn't have bought a custom one. I had the choice not to buy it, and I could very easily have said no, but I wanted it, so I did buy it. It's so nice, actually. I've thought of doing this as a gift to a really special friend because it's so nice, which means I might have to order a second one from him. But anyways, it just has that look of a really beautiful gifted kind of knife, right? This is one of those knives you could give as a gift, and people would look at it and they'd kind of go, "Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's really nice," right? I mean, especially if you know knives. I mean, it's got solid substance and everything. You're going to appreciate this. Now, if someone doesn't know anything about knives, you could mistake this for a cheap knife, and I'm sorry, that would be a mistake, but I'll just say that. So there you go. Hey, hold on. I think my battery's about to die. Let me just plug that in real quick. I think I just caught it in time. I saw that getting dim and everything. All right. So that being said, this right here is definitely recommended. So reach out to him if you like the look of this knife. I'm sure there's other things he can do. It is custom. So, you know, there's a lot of things you can probably talk to him about if it's within his wheelhouse and his time, because, you know, he works full time, you know, and he's not a full-time custom knife maker, but he likes making knives. So Definitely a cool dude to reach out to. All right. All right, so there you go. Hey, if you found this content fun, interesting, informative, worthwhile, or you just liked it, would you please consider hitting the like button down below? And if you've already hit that like button, maybe you consider hitting the subscribe button. Subscribing and liking the videos really helps out the channel, allows the channel produce more content, do more things, ultimately do more things for you guys. So thank you. Thank you to everyone out there who watches the videos, who likes the videos, who enjoys the content, who watches part of the live stream, watches the live streams, who are just there. Thank you. Thank you to every one of you guys. I sure do appreciate you guys so very much. And if you haven't already, also hit that notification button down below so you can be notified of future content. And to all my channel members, a big, huge thank you. Shout out to every one of you guys out there. I sure do appreciate you so very much. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be able to do some of the things I do now. You guys really help the channel. You really help me allow my channel to grow, to do things that I never thought I'd be able to do. So I appreciate you. You also encourage me because I work full time. This is a part-time thing for me. There's times when I thought I just need a break. And if it wasn't for you channel members, I'd be like, I might have stepped back, and you never know. Once you step back, you don't always you don't start again, right? And so you got to keep going. Sometimes success is all about not giving up. And I really do believe that. A lot of times the champions, the winners, the people who win in the end are the people who don't give up. So I would just tell people, don't give up. And you channel members are helping me do that. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. And it's a small way for me to say thank you to them because they've been so generous, as I do two special things. I do a once a month members giveaway. It's usually a little nicer knife. It's not a budget banger, which I love giving away every week, but it's a nicer knife or a nicer little package of stuff. Something that's, I think, worthwhile and enjoyable for all the members. And then two, I also give channel members, all brand new channel members, a channel member sticker and a little note saying thank you. So email me with your name and address if you're a brand new channel member, or if you were a channel member all along and you've never asked me, or you were a channel member before and became a member again and currently are a member and you've never asked for a channel member sticker, email me as well. I'd love to mail you a sticker to say thank you. That's my small way to just show you how much I appreciate you, right? But that once a month members giveaway, if that sounds interesting, or if you just want to help the channel, or if you really love stickers, yeah, there's a link down below in the description to how to become a member. There's 3 different tiers. Would love to have you. Don't ever feel obligated. Would love to have you. Always want it to be a choice. So thank you. Thank you to everyone out there who watches this. So hey, if you haven't already, check me out on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Again, that's on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives.